Hi, welcome to Rathod Science Academy. I am your current affairs faculty. Now, in this lecture, we are going to see current affairs of 14 February 2022. In this lecture, we are going to see 7 to 8 topics which are very much relevant from our UPSC. So now let us try to see a small introduction regarding those topics. Now we are going to have our discussion. So first topic, it is about occupational safety and health. So actually this article is mainly talking about some data regarding this occupational safety and health, that is there are increase in the number of incidents, incidents of accidents especially seen in industries, factories, etc. That is mainly focused here, and this article says that what to be done. So this article is important from your governance point of view, which mainly comes under GS paper 2. And next topic, it is about for something. So this article which is mainly talking about this squad. So especially we are focusing on what are the highlights of this recent 4th ministerial summit of this squad, and even we are going to discuss about how this meeting is significant from India point of view, and that point is very important from your mains. Okay, so this topic is very much important from your international relations, which mainly comes under GS paper 2. And next topic is about combative federalism. Actually, I think you might know about this word federalism, and this might be the new thing, that is what is this combative federalism. Okay, so combative means nothing but, to understand that combative, we need to know what is happening regarding the central state relations. So if you're talking about this federalism, so federalism, it is one of the thing which is mainly seen in this dual government. So dual government means we'll be having central government at the national level and state government at the state level, right? So here, according to this federalism, it mainly says that there is a proper division of powers between center and as well as state. And in recent years, due to this COVID-19 which entered into our life, so because of this physical thing, okay, whatever the economy that is mainly present in our country, that had been fall down. So because of this excessive power of government that is seen, okay, so because of this, states, they are mainly want to fight against, okay, states are mainly having some voice against the center. So this type of the thing is called as combative federalism. So we are going to see that thing, that is very important from our polity point of view. Actually this article says that there are a number of examples in our country which is mainly showing that there is a combative federalism, there is increasing of excessive power of central government that is seen. And the next topic is about fishermen issue between Sri Lanka and India. So it is a common thing that is mainly we can see if you are following this newspaper daily. And recently here Sri Lanka said that we are going to resolve this issue, but again what happened, 12 Tamil Nadu fishermen and about 2 boats, they were seized by Sri Lankan Navy. So this article is important from your international relations, which mainly comes under GS paper 2. And next topic is about India non-committal on funding curbs on UK NGOs. So this article is mainly talking about this Foreign Contribution Regulation Act. So this act is very highly seen in news. So for this year prelims and mains, so this topic will be the one important topic, you can get a question. And this topic is important from your polity GS paper 2 point of view. And next topic, it is about police modernization scheme, and this scheme, it is very important, and I want to know your opinion regarding this police modernization. So what will be the positives, what will be the negatives, and what is your opinion regarding this? So let me know your opinion in the comment box. And next topic, it is about bird monitoring team records 203 species, especially in some belt. Okay, so this topic is important from your environment and ecology. So one thing I want to share you with UPSC aspirants and who are visiting our YouTube channel and as well as website here is, so there are many channels in YouTube which are mainly providing this Hindu analysis, but mere reading of articles and translating in other languages, it will not at all helpful. So whenever you are taking any topic, you have to know the background, why it is in news, and you have to know what is happening in that. You have to know about developments in that so and so issue, and you have to connect that topic with our static syllabus. Okay, so in this way you have to approach our newspaper, and if you are getting any keywords in the newspaper articles, you have to know meaning of that also, because that will bring you a conceptual clarity. So you have to follow the trends of UPSC. So trends of UPSC had been changed, right? So they are not asking just fact-based questions. Now they started asking analysis-based questions. So even from this current affairs also they started asking analysis-based questions. So for that, so what are the approach we are following? It is a right approach. So we are discussing what is the news, okay, we are discussing what is the background, if at all, if there is any background, we are discussing that, and we are connecting that topic with our static syllabus in all perspectives like GS1, GS2, GS3 and GS4. So in this way, so this is the way to read this newspaper, okay. So I am suggesting you that you have to follow this way, so that it will be very much helpful, okay. So now let us try to start our discussion with a quote. So today's quote is regarding our environment point of view. So if conservation of natural resources goes wrong, nothing else will go right, okay. So this is a quote which is mainly given by M.S. Swaminathan. So M.S. Swaminathan, he was very important personality, right? You might be know about this M.S. Swaminathan committee report or recommendations regarding this MSP, minimum support price, as well. So this quote mainly says that here conservation is very important. So what are the natural resources that we have? For example, per se, you can take like water, you can take like natural resources like minerals, okay, you can talk about flora and fauna. So these are the natural resources. So we need to go for conservation of these natural resources. So whenever anything which is going wrong in this conservation, then nothing else will go right. If you talk about food chain, for example, I will be giving you a small example to understand what this M.S. Swaminathan wants to say. So for example, let us take, there are 100 plants which are present in so and so area, and there are about 50 herbivores, for example deer are present, and there are about 2 tigers are present in that so and so area. For example, whenever due to some droughts, what happened whenever because of some droughts and some climate change, so for example per se, let us take, so these number of these plants had been decreased. So whenever plants number had been decreased means, so the animals which are dependent on these plants will also will decrease, because they do not get the proper food, right? So if there is no proper food, then how these animals will be sustained, right? So whenever these numbers are decreasing means the tigers, which are mainly depend upon these herbivores, will also be going to decrease. So because of this, what are the balance that is seen in this so and so ecosystem, that will be changed, okay. So this is our example. You can understand what M.S. Swaminathan wants to say here is, if conservation of natural resources goes wrong, then nothing else will go right. So this is a small example. I want to explain you like how this quote is relevant, because nowadays philosophical quotes, philosophical essays are coming in your paper, and in 2021 out of 8 essays are philosophical essays. So because of this, you need to think around what is happening, and you have to give those examples in this philosophical essays, okay, such that you will be having a multi-dimensional view. So because of this, I am trying to explain this quotes by using some examples, such that if I explain you one quote, if I explain you one example for one quote, then it will be helpful to develop, and it will be helpful to develop especially perspectives regarding that quote, and you can develop further 2 to 3 examples in your own way, such that it will be helpful in a multi-dimensional way, because you can use that quotes in your essay for sure, okay. So now let us try to see the first article. So first article regarding occupational safety and health. So for especially beginners, you need to know about why this occupational safety and health is in use. For example, let us see, there are many people who are working hazardous industries. So which are those hazardous industries? For example, you can talk about mining, and you can talk about crackers, okay, cracker industries. So these are some hazardous industries, okay. I'm saying just examples. There are 2 examples I'm saying, like mining and as well as this cracker industries. So what happened? So whenever they are not following the safety precautions, it will be very much harmful for the health. And if you are watching many movies, recent Akhanda movie, I think, whether you have watched or not, so that article, that movie is also related to this uranium mining. So whenever people who are working that uranium mining, because of some radiations, they will be having some effect on their health, right? So these are some hazardous industries, and if you are following this newspaper, you will be seeing like there are many incidents which are happening in this cracker industries, and that led to death of so and so number of workers who are working in that so and so industry, okay. So whenever they are working in any industry, so that industry or that sector, they need to provide some safety guidelines, okay. So because of this, nowadays this occupational safety and health is very seen news, and even recent 4 labor codes. So one of that labor codes which mainly talk about this occupational safety and health. So here I want to give you a homework. So please you have to refer this occupational safety and health related code that is seen recently in news. Okay, so now let us try to understand this topic. So this topic which is mainly says that we need to have a comprehensive review on labor inspection, and even we need to focus on this labor statistical system in India. So author says that we need a comprehensive review of labor inspection and as well as labor statistical system in India. So this is very much important. So why author mainly says that we need a proper labor inspection and as well as labor statistical system? Because we do not have proper review of this labor inspection. Okay, so review is not done according to the time and as well as a given schedule. And next one is whatever the data which is present, okay, that is mainly having some loopholes. So there is no proper data regarding this occupational safety that is present. So now let us try to see what are the concerns of the author. So what are the things that I am saying here, they are not my personal opinion. So I am taking from this article and these are the views of the author. So actually the persons who are writing this editorials, they will be having some expert knowledge. So we can take this expert knowledge and that we can use in our mains answer writing, especially regarding positives, negatives, what will be the impact in that area. We can use this editorials. And some editorials will be talking about background, and some editorials which are mainly talking about what is happening now, and some editorials talking about way forward, what are the steps taken by the government. So in this way, whenever you are reading editorials, that will be giving you a comprehensive idea regarding that so and so topic, right? And editorials are very important, especially from your both prelims and as well as a mains point of view. So please don't leave the editorials. So because of this, we are starting our analysis with the editorials, such that what happened whenever you started watching this video for at least 20 to 25 minutes, you will be having a high concentration, right? So at this time, if you are reading small articles, means what happened, your concentration will be high in these small articles. But if you come at the last, if you are discussing these editorials at last, means your concentration level will be very low, so you might not be focusing on that. So because of this, we are discussing these editorials first, and after that we are focusing on small topics which are of least priority. Okay, so now let us try to see this topic in a very great detail. Author says that in recent times there is increasing of industrial accidents. Okay, there is increasing of industrial accident, especially if you are talking about coal mining in Meghalaya. In Meghalaya, they will be going for rat hole mining. So what is this rat hole mining means? So if there is any mountain it is present or any hill is present, actually you know that in northeastern states we can see a difficult terrain is present. So here we can see some coal reserves. So here miners or laborers who are working in this mining industry, they will be digging a small hole and they will be crawling into that hole and they will be bringing the coal. Crawling into this hole and they will be bringing the coal. But what happened in this northeastern region, we can see there were number of rivers also will be flowing there. So in these areas, whenever the rivers are flooding, okay, because of monsoon season or so and so, then what happened, these holes will be clogged. So because of this, that will lead to the blockage of these laborers in that hole itself, and because of suffocation they will lose their life. So these are the some incidents that we can see in this rat hole mining. Actually this rat hole mining, which is bad, but illegally in some areas it is still continuing in this Meghalaya region. So in this way, what happened, there are increasing the number of industrial accidents that are mainly increasing. Okay, especially in some hazardous industries, they are commonly reported, not only in hazardous industries but even in the construction areas. So recently one report released regarding this occupational safety and healthy, that is the Crusher Report 2021. So this Crusher Report 2021, which mainly released by SII, so don't confuse with Serum Institute of India here. So this SII, which mainly stands for Safe in India. So Safe in India released this Crusher Report 2021. And this report mainly portrays dismal picture concerning occupational safety and health in the auto sector. So in this automobile sector, so here workers who are working in this automobile sector, so this report, which is mainly focusing on the conditions which are mainly facing by workers in this automobile sector regarding occupational safety and as well as health. But however, if you are talking about occupational safety and health, has not received due attention from the lawmakers and even trade unions in India. So as you all know, there are different trade unions are present and even lawmakers are present. So these lawmakers and these trade unions, they are not at all focusing on this occupational safety and as well as health. So if we are talking about why, how, so there are many shortcomings that are mainly seen in the data which is recorded regarding this occupational safety and health. So there are many shortcomings, statistics, they are concerning regarding in industrial accidents which are mainly produced by Labor Bureau. So if you are talking about this Labor Bureau which mainly compiles and it also publishes the data on industrial injuries. So it is the important ministry, that is a Labor Bureau. So Labor Bureau, which is one of the important function here, is it need to compile and it need to publish the data on industrial injuries. For example, some sectors like factories, mines, railways, docks and as well as ports. And this Labor Bureau has not considered expanding the scope of statistics on injuries by adding sectors such as plantations, construction as well as even service sector. So from these plantations, construction and the service sector, so this Labor Bureau, it is not at all considering the expanding the scope of statistics. That means the number of incidents regarding safety and as well as health, they are not at all adding the data from these sectors like plantation, construction as well as service. So this is the one cause of concern. And if you are talking about inspections and as well as convictions, so the proportion of registered factories which are inspected for all India declined from 36.23% in 2008-2011 to 34.5% that is between 2012 to 2015, and further decreased to 24%, that is 24.76%. Okay, so there is a drastical decrease. Okay, drastical decrease that is seen from 2008 to 2011 till now. There is decreasing of inspection rates. And if you're talking about some states, for example Kerala and as well as Tamil Nadu, they had higher rate of inspection. So in these two states, in these two southern states, there is higher level of inspection of 63% and as well as 66% that is seen. And the lowest rate that is seen in Gujarat. Okay, Gujarat, it is having a very lower rate, and even Haryana also. Okay, so for all India, the conviction rates, okay, so the conviction rates, that means after inspection, if there is anything which is wrong, means they will go for conviction. Okay, so the conviction rate for 2015 to 2019, it was like 61.39%. Okay, so average fine per conviction here is like 12,231 rupees, but it is not at all enough. Okay, so this is about conviction and as well as inspection. So what are the issues they mainly found? So they mainly found two important issues. So if you are talking about this LPG reforms that we came up in year 1991, so these are called as economic reforms. So in this LPG we came up with liberalization, privatization and globalization. So because of this liberalization, that led to liberal economic policy. That means easily they got the licenses to establish so and so company. So because of this liberalization which we came up in this 1991, so we came up with a mindless liberalization. Okay, so from that time onwards, from since 20 years onwards, we do not have a proper inspection system. Okay, so this is the one cause of concern. And next one is, whenever we are going for the simplifying of annual returns and as well as self-certification system, so it mainly weakens this already poor placed labor statistical system. So whenever we are going for simplifying this annual rules and as well as self-certification system, that will further leads to poor labor statistical system. So these are the two important issues in our system. So what is the need? The need here is we need to go for proper inspection and we need to have better labor statistical systems, okay, such that we can go for the process of framing vision at the rate 2047 document for the labor ministry. So this is the need. And here, as I said, you have to do revision regarding this code on occupational safety and health and working conditions 2020. So this part will be very important from your mains. So whenever I am giving any homework, so please do that. That is for your benefit itself, not for my sake. And now let us try to see next topic. It is regarding for something. So this article especially talking about a squad. Quad mainly stands for quadrilateral dialogue. So it is between 4 countries, already you know that is US, Japan, Australia and India. So these are the 4 Indo-Pacific nations. They came together and formed this Quad. Quad, it is quadrilateral security dialogue. So now let us try to see this topic. Already we are seeing this topic from last 3 days, and now we are going to see, so what is the significance of this 4th ministerial meet of this Quad for India. So that point is very important. Okay, so here you need to know about what is a Quad, who are the members of the Quad, and what are the aims and objectives and recent highlights, and even you know that what is the impact of that so and so meet regarding India. So in this way you need to develop different perspectives. So if you're talking about introduction, author mainly says that this Quad ministerial meet. So now the 4th Quad ministerial meet which mainly held in this Melbourne. So this meet which mainly meant to set a stage for meeting of leaders of Australia, India, Japan and as well as US. Okay, and in the later this year, so we are going to have this 5th ministerial meet in this Japan, that is in Tokyo. So here now let us try to see what are the highlights. So they mainly talked about 26/11 Mumbai and Pathankot attacks, and they mainly condemned this terrorist attacks, and they also talked about how to deliver COVID-19 vaccine to other country and how to improve this manufacturing of this COVID-19 vaccines in India. And they also talked about they need to assure free and open Indo-Pacific region, and they want to protect the interests of the people who are present in this Indo-Pacific region. And next one is they also going to talk about this climate change in 2022, and they also focused on how to ensure this maritime security in the region. So these are the 5 important points that you need to remember regarding this 4th ministerial meet of this Quad. And now let us try to talk about what is significance of this Quad for India. So if you see this diagram, so this type of diagrams that you can easily make in the examination, such that as you all know, one diagram is equal to 1000 words, right? And if you are representing one diagram, means it will be like equal to 1000 words. So that will be helpful mainly to complete your answer within time, and even that will be helpful to save your words as well. Okay, so if you are talking about significance, so it is mainly focusing on free and open Indo-Pacific. It is focusing on connectivity. It is also focusing on infrastructure. It is focusing how to counter this COVID-19. It is also focusing on critical technologies, and it is focusing on resilient supply chains, and even it is focusing on AUKUS. AUKUS is nothing but Australia, UK and US. It is a trilateral strategic cooperation between these 3 countries. And they also talked about how can they go for this Quad expansion, and even they talked about this climate change agenda and as well as countering China. So these are the some important significance of this Quad. And now let us try to see what is the significance of this 4th ministerial meet regarding India. So first one, it is regarding technology. So in technology point of view, India will be mainly benefited from this Quad work on this 5G, okay, that is 5th generation, okay, 5G technology, and also it will be helpful for vendor diversification, especially to maintain a diverse, open and interoperable telecommunication ecosystem. So they are mainly focusing on this 5G technology, and even they are focusing on this interoperable telecommunication ecosystem. So in this way, this meet it is helpful for technology point of view. And if you're talking about second one, that is climate change. So here this Quad working group on climate change, it is mainly working on strengthening of climate actions, and these climate actions, they are mainly focusing on mitigation, they are focusing on adaptation, they are focusing on resilience, and they are focusing on which is the technology that can be used to counter this climate change, and even they are focusing on capacity building measures and even climate finance. So these are the areas they mainly focused on. So how these will be help India? So first one is we can achieve our climate ambition. So as you all know that in COP26, Conference of Parties 26, our Prime Minister gave a statement that we are going to achieve this carbon neutrality by 2070. And next one is we are having an ambitious target of achieving so and so gigawatts of renewable energy by the target year, and we recently increased that target by 2030. So to achieve that, we need to focus on this clean energy innovation and deployment. And next one is we can go for adaptation, resilience and preparedness as well. So in these areas, so this is very relevant. And next one is infrastructure. So from this infrastructure point of view, Quad partners, they have provided more than US dollars 48 billion. Okay, they mainly provided more than US dollars 48 billion in official finance for infrastructure in this Indo-Pacific region. So in this way, it will be helpful for developing of regional infrastructure. And if you're talking about space, so this Quad space working group mainly discussing on exchanging of information, okay, regarding this Earth observation satellite data. So whenever they are exchanging the information regarding this, what happened, that will be helpful for securing of this Indo-Pacific region. And next one is cyber security. So this Quad senior cyber officials group, they mainly focusing to exchange best practices. So this best practices will be very helpful for India, okay, to ensure critical cyber infrastructure and even to build resilience against the cyber threats. And next one is disaster management. So regarding this disaster management, also very important things which are mainly discussed regarding this high availability disaster recovery. So in this context, Quad countries, they mainly responded that many natural disasters in this region, okay, especially India is also facing with the natural disasters. For example, recently glacier outbreak, flood that we can see, and even landslides, mudslides in Kerala, landslides in Himachal Pradesh, and even there are some droughts and as well as floods in so and so areas. And even we can see earthquake 5 zone, which is mainly seen in India. So it is also prone to earthquakes. So because of this natural disasters, not only that, recent cyclone Yas, okay, and recent cyclone Tauktae, so that also led to floods in the coastal regions of India. Okay, so these are some important climate change actions that we are facing in India. So regarding that, disaster management is very important, and we need to strengthen our cooperation in areas such that we can go for delivering of timely and effective relief and even assistance for the victims, right? And next one is education. So India also proposes Quad cooperation in the field of higher education as well. So they are mainly focusing on student exchanges, and even they are focusing on this joint research, especially Quad STEM. STEM, it stands for science, technology, engineering and mathematics. Okay, they are also focusing on this Quad STEM fellowship. It mainly provides like 25 graduate or doctoral students, okay, from the STEM fields. Okay, that will be those students will be eligible for this scholarship, okay, such that they can have some foreign university, they can enter into such as foreign universities like that. So these are the some important significance regarding this fourth ministerial meet of this Quad for India. So this is about this topic, and now let us try to see next topic. It is regarding combative federalism. To understand this, first you need to know about federalism. Federalism, it is nothing but an essence of dual government. So in dual government means we will be having central government and we will be having state government. So at the central level or national level we will be having state government, at state level we are having state government. So in our constitution, okay, so in our constitution, which is mainly talking about federalized nation, okay, so we are nothing but we are not complete federalism, but we are like a quasi federalism. So even if you are talking about this concept of this federalism, it mainly says that there is a proper division of powers between central and state. So where we can see this division of powers, so if you are talking about 7th schedule of Indian constitution, which mainly talks about different list. For example, list 1, list 2, list 3. List 1 is union list, list 2 is state list, and list 3 is, we can say, like both state government and as well as central government will be having the same power, that is called as concurrent list. So in this central list, what are the subjects that are present here? Central government can make the laws on that central list. And if you are talking about state list, state government can make the laws regarding the subjects which are present in this state list. Regarding this concurrent list, both central government and as well as state government will be having power. So if there is any conflict between the central government and state government will be prevail, right? So this is about the division of powers according to this, okay. So if you are talking about this word, it is mainly talking about this combative federalism. So what is this combative federalism means? So this article which is mainly saying some examples that central increasing its role by using this governor post, okay. So governor will be the representative agent of a center in the state, right? So what happened by using this office of governor, so there is increasing of power of a center that is seen in the state. So because of this, what happened, now states, they are raising their voices against this. So this type of federalism is called as combative federalism. So now let us try to see this topic in a very great detail. So recently Central came up with amendments regarding this IAS, that is Indian Administrative Services Cadre Rules of 1954. So it is one of the round of conflict that is seen between the central and state. Already there are a number of conflicts that are seen since 2016 onwards. Okay. So but what happened because of this recent proposed amendments by the center, that mainly triggered another round of conflict between the center and as well as state. Some states accepted, some states they mainly objected, and some states even rejected that proposed amendments. So these amendments, which are mainly proposed by Department of Personnel and Training, and whenever these amendments which are mainly accepted by the states means these amendments which will takes away the liberty of the states, okay, to deny the consent for handing over the civil servants for central deputation. Okay, so not only this, there are further differences that is mainly seen between the central and as well as state. Okay, so these are some important things. And if you are talking about what are the issues here, so if you see here, you can get many examples. So recent tahsil here is regarding Lieutenant Governor and as well as Chief Minister in Delhi, in NCT, that is National Capital Territory of Delhi. So we discussed this issue number of times. And even regarding this GST compensation, okay, during this COVID-19 pandemic. So what are the GST compensation that needs to be paid by the center to state? So because of this less cess which is collected by the center, they can't able to pay the compensation to the states. So this is also one issue already we discussed, right? And even there are number of issues regarding this deployment of central investigation officer as well, or regarding the central investigative agencies in the states. So you can get the number of examples if you see this part. Okay, from here to here you can get number of examples. So now let us try to see further. So if you're talking about background here, so now we are seeing a shift of Indian federalism from cooperative federalism towards this combative federalism here. So this is one of the major change that we can see in our Indian polity because of increasing of coercion or increase in the power of central government that is seen in the states. So if you're talking about this term combative federalism, actually this word which mainly used by former Uttarakhand Chief Minister immediately after his government was dismissed under this Article 356 of Constitution by the President's proclamation. So actually Article 352, 356, 360 which mainly talks about our emergency provisions, that is 352, 356 and 360, that is +4, you can add +4 here, and these are the articles which are mainly talking about emergency provisions. Okay, so national emergency, president's rule, and as well as financial emergency. So under this Article 356 which mainly talks about the president's rule, so after once here Uttarakhand government dismissed under this Article 356 here. So for the first time Uttarakhand Chief Minister, he mainly used this word, that is combative federalism. And not only that, here number of ways we can see there is imposition of this president's rule that is mainly seen in number of states here. So immediately after that, court mainly started wielding power by interfering in the affairs of the states by using governor's office. So by using this governor's office here, central which mainly increased its control in the states. Okay, who is the governor? Governor, he is the agent of the center that is seen in the states. Okay, so by using this office of governor, there is increasing of power that is seen in the states by the center. So here, if you're talking about this collaborative federalism, so collaborative federalism, it is one of the important thing which is against our democracy, right? So instead of that, if you're talking about our constitution, which is not talking about this collaborative or collaborative federalism, but okay, so we need a proper cooperation that is mainly seen between central and as well as state. So we should not talk about this combative federalism. So we need to talk about cooperative federalism. So this is an important idea that we can see in our constitution. Okay, combative federalism, it is not at all seen in our Indian constitution, but our Indian constitution, which is mainly talking about cooperation between the central and as well as states, and even collaboration between the central and as well as the states here. So recently here, even the constitutional bench of Supreme Court, which mainly held that a National Capital Territory of Delhi versus Union of India 2018. So here in this famous case also, Supreme Court said that we need to go for coordination between the center and the state. Okay, you should not go for this combat federalism. So court in this case which mainly said that union government and the state governments, they should endeavor to address common problems. So whatever the common problems are present between the center and the state, they both need to come together and they need to solve this issue, and they need to come up with a proper solution for this common problems. And here they need to take combined action as well as sincere cooperation is required between central and as well as state. And whenever there is encroachment, that is whenever the one power which is increasing means that should be prohibited, and rather than wasting the time and as well as energy, okay, so here central and as well as states, they have to strive to work in coordination, and that will be helpful for the larger public interest. So this is the gist of this topic, and I hope it is very much clear. And now let us try to see next topic. It is regarding Sri Lankan Navy arrest 12 Tamil Nadu fishermen, seizes 2 boats. So here if you are talking about in this Park Bay, okay, so in this Park Bay what happened? Here Indian fishermen like Tamil Nadu fishermen, they will be crossing this Park Bay, and that will be enter into this waters of Sri Lanka, and Sri Lankan Navy, they will come and they will catch this fisherman, and they will be also seizes the boat. So this is a common issue that we can see not only between India and Sri Lanka, and even India, Pakistan also we can see this type of fisherman issue that will be seen oftenly in news. So now let us try to talk about this topic. So what is the context? If you say context, it mainly says that, so it is a third time such an incident that is seen in this Park Bay area. So recently what happened, 4 fishermen of Tamil Nadu, they were even killed by the Sri Lankan Navy, right? So now again about 12 Tamil Nadu fishermen, they are arrested by the Sri Lankan Navy, and about 2 boats, they were seized now. It's the present thing. So if you're talking about where is this Park Bay located, so here this is our India, right? So here this part, it is our Tamil Nadu. So here we have this Gulf of Mannar, and here we have this Park Strait. Okay, so this is Sri Lanka and this is India, right? So if you're talking about what are the reasons behind this fisherman issue between India and Sri Lanka, so what are the reasons? So here I want to discuss 3 important reasons. Okay, so I want to give you one tip. If you are writing any mains answer, please try to follow this 7:5:3 principle, such that you can write answer within 7 minutes, and even your answer will be having the enough facts, enough content, okay, such that will be enough for 150 words or 250 words. Okay, so you might be having a question like, what is a 7:5:3 principle? So you have to write your answer within 7 minutes, and here in the body of your answer you need to have 5 important ideas. So in these 5 ideas you need to write at least 3 sentences regarding that, then your answer will be done. So this is a very simple, and if you are following this 7:5:3 principle, I will ensure you that you are going to write your answer within time. Okay, so if you are talking about what are the reasons, the first one is, if you are talking about maritime boundary line between India and the Sri Lanka, it is not well defined. So because of this fishermen, whenever they are going to that area, they don't know whether they are in this Indian side waters or Sri Lankan side waters. Unfortunately, many times here these Tamil Nadu fishermen, they will be crossing this Park Bay. Okay, so this is the first important reason here is there is no proper maritime boundary line between India and Sri Lanka. We do not have a proper well defined line, right? And next one is, if you are talking about this Kachativu Island, so there are issues regarding this Kachativu Island. So actually India and Sri Lanka, they had mainly signed 2 agreements in 1974 and as well as 1976 during Indira Gandhi time period. Okay, so at that time they came up with the demarcation of international maritime boundary line between India and Sri Lanka. But fishermen of Tamil Nadu side and as well as fishermen of the Sri Lanka side, they are not at all accepted these agreements. Okay, so what might be the reason? The first reason here is, so according to this fisherman community, their consultation was not considered during the signing of agreement. Okay, whenever Indian side and as well as Sri Lankan side, they signed this agreement, so they didn't consult this fisherman. So this is the first issue. And next one is, prior to these agreements, fishermen of Tamil Nadu, they used the island for sorting of their fishes and drying of nets, etc. Okay, and they also used this dry net to catch fishes again while returning. So it is not allowed now. And next one is, after the agreement, island was included in this Sri Lankan site of maritime boundary. So because of this, it mainly reduced the fishing area for Tamil Nadu fishermen. So these are the issues why here Sri Lankan fishermen and as well as Tamil Nadu fishermen, they will be not accepting these agreements. And third important reason here is the fishing method which is mainly used by this Tamil Nadu fishermen, it is like that will lead to exploitation of these fishes, because they are mainly using this mechanized trawlers. So what is mechanized trawlers means? So these will be the ship and this will be having a net, and that net will be coming across. Whenever this ship it is moving, this net will be also moving in that direction. So whenever it is moving, whatever the small fishes which are present at the bottom also, that will be taken off. So because of this, what happened, that will not lead to sustainable fishing, right? So because the large number of fishes will be taken out of, so even the small fishes also, such that the number of these fishes will be exploited soon. So this is the one important thing that you need to remember. And let me know your opinion, okay, your opinion regarding this mechanized trawling, whether we need to go for that or not. And let me know your opinion regarding what will be the way forward, okay. So you have to give hashtag opinion and you have to give your opinion in the comment box. So this will be helpful, especially for your interview as well. And now let us try to see next topic, that is regarding FCRA, Foreign Contribution Regulation Act. So title says India non-committal on funding curbs on UK NGOs. So to understand this, we need to go to background, okay. So what happened regarding this FCRA? So recently we came up with this 2020 amendments. So after that, what happened, many NGOs are not following that, they are mainly violating that. So what happened, FCRA said that we are not going to renew this so and so NGOs, and about 6,000 NGOs, they are not renewed. Okay, so because of this, what happened, there are number of NGOs which are not only operating in India, but they are also other country based. Okay, so now UK government which came with some statements regarding this FCRA renewal of this NGOs. So now let us try to see this topic in a very great detail. So if you see context, it mainly says that UK officials discussed foreign funding restrictions which mainly placed on this Oxfam and other British NGOs in India. So last week what happened, there are some NGOs like Oxfam and as well as other British NGOs. So on these NGOs, our UK officials, they mainly discussed about this funding restrictions. So from Indian side, they mainly not renewed this NGOs for receiving of this foreign funds. So because of this, now UK officials, they mainly discuss regarding this foreign funding restrictions. Okay, so because of this is in news. And now let us try to see what are the details. So this issue was raised by United Kingdom officials as they were explained the process of this FCRA renewals. So if you see this image, I took this image from earlier newspaper cuttings of The Hindu. So it mainly says that FCRA 2020 mandates that each NGO compulsorily opens FCRA account, and that should be done in this SBI main branch in New Delhi. Okay, and then only they will get this renewal from this FCRA such that they can accept this foreign funds. And between this 2016 and 2020, Home Ministry cancelled the registration of about 6,000 NGOs, 6,600 NGOs, and it mainly said why there is a cancelling of registration, because they do not follow proper amendments of this FCRA 2020. They mainly alleged the violation of the rules and as well as misuse of these funds. So in June 2021, Delhi High Court restrained the ministry from taking any coercive action against this NGO. And finally, orders which mainly passed on the petitions from this NGO here. And recently here in 2021 December said that they mainly gave some permission for this missions of charity, okay, of Mother Teresa. Okay, like that the issue which is mainly going on since 2020 onwards. So if you see background here, background says that recently our Union Ministry of Home Affairs, which mainly cancelled this FCRA registrations of various non-governmental organizations. So whenever the suspension of license, whenever the cancellation of license means now these NGOs, they are not eligible to receive any fresh foreign funds. Okay, so this is the issue here. And if you are talking about what is this FCRA 2010? So FCRA, it mainly stands for Foreign Contribution Regulation Act. So under this act, which mainly talks about foreign funding of persons in India, so whenever any person who is getting the foreign funds, so that funds will be regulated under this FCRA. And this FCRA mainly implemented by Ministry of Home Affairs. And individuals, they are mainly permitted to accept foreign contributions without permission of this MHA, that is Ministry of Home Affairs. Okay, and when they can get the when without permission, how much amount they can get, that is like less than 25,000 rupees. If they want to get foreign funds which is more than 25,000 rupees, means they need to go for compulsory registration under this FCRA. Okay, so this act which mainly ensures that recipients of these foreign contributions, they need to adhere to the provisions of this act. Okay, so under this act, once they got registration or once they got registered under this FCRA, for every 5 years they need to go for renewal. And for which NGOs this foreign contributions will be accepted? For the mainly 5 purposes. So first one is for social purpose, for educational purpose, for religious purpose, and for economic and cultural purpose. And recently in 2020 we came up with some more amendments to this FCRA. So first one is, it mainly talks about prohibition of accepting foreign contribution. So especially public servants, okay, public servants, they are mainly prohibited from accepting contributions, because whenever they are accepting this foreign contribution from other countries, then what happens, there will be some influence of these foreign countries that is seen in the action of these public servants. So public servants, they should not accept any foreign contributions. So who are those public servants? Means a person who is in service, they are mainly paid by the government or remunerated by the government. Okay, so those comes under this public servants, and these public servants should not accept any foreign contribution. And next one is transfer of foreign contribution. So this act also prohibits the transfer of this foreign contribution to any other person who are not registered to accept this foreign contribution. If any person who is not registered, means that money should not be transferred to that so and so person. And next one is Aadhaar for registration. So if I want to go for register my NGO, Aadhaar, it is very much compulsorily. And next one is, I need to open a bank account in SBI branch of New Delhi, such that through that bank only, through that account only, I can receive this foreign contributions. And next one is reduction in the usage of foreign contribution. Earlier, how much fund I am getting, I can use 50% for administration. For example, for stationery purpose, for giving any salaries for the person who are working. So now it reduces to 20%. And next one is surrender of certificate. So this act which also says that central government to permit the person to surrender their registration certificate as well. So these are some important things that you can remember. And in this way you have to read your current affairs. You have to know background. Okay, you have to know what is the thing which is important from our basics. So if you know basics only, you can build current affairs on that. Unless and until if you don't know the basics, you can't build your current affairs and the base will not be strong. And next topic, it is about police modernization scheme. I tell this topic it is important regarding GS paper 2 on the governance regarding police reforms. And this topic it is very important from your means. So now let us try to see what is this article talking about. So if you see context, it mainly says that Union government approved the continuation of this police modernization scheme, okay, for 5 years up to 2025 to 2026. Okay, so up to 2025 to 2026, here our union government which mainly approved for this police modernization scheme. So if we are talking about details, so there is no need of remembering of the facts here, like numbers regarding how much amount which is allocated. That is not at all necessary. You have to know that yes, this police modernization scheme which is mainly extended like that. So if you see some more important details, it mainly says that Union Home Ministry said scheme which mainly included security related expenditure, especially in Jammu and Kashmir. So in Jammu and Kashmir, in the recent days, we studied one article regarding increasing of drones, okay, increasing of drones across this India-Pakistan border, especially in the Pakistan and as well as Jammu and Kashmir, right? So because of this Jammu and Kashmir which is having a severe threat from this terrorist, so we need to go for increasing of spending, especially in this Jammu and Kashmir region. And even in the northern states, we are having some insurgency problems and even some Maoist affected areas like Red Corridor. So we need to go for raising of new battalions, and we need to go for developing of high technology forensic laboratories and even investigation tools. So for all these things, now budgetary allocation which mainly increased. And this scheme also comprises of all relevant sub-schemes that contribute to this modernization and improvement with a total central fiscal outlay. Okay, and this scheme which mainly comes under the scheme for internal security, law and order, and even adoption of modern technology by the police. And under this scheme, the assistance will also given to the states for narcotics control and even for strengthening of criminal justice system, especially by developing a robust forensic setup. Okay, so for all these things, so this scheme, it is very important, and it will be also helpful for developing of high quality forensic facilities in the states, and that will be helpful for even scientific and as well as timely investigation. So this is about this topic, and now let us try to see next topic. It is regarding bird monitoring team records 203 species. So this article is talking about bird monitoring, especially in so-and-so belt. So now let us try to see this topic, and this topic is important from your environment and ecology, which mainly comes under GS paper 3. So if you see context, it mainly says that the winter bird monitoring program for 2021 to 2022, which mainly recorded the presence of 203 bird species. Okay, so in this winter bird monitoring program, which mainly recorded the presence of like 203 bird species, it mainly includes like 53 non-resident species as well. Okay, so it mainly recorded like 53 non-resident species, and total overall there are about 203 bird species, especially in the belt, that is Mysuru, Mandya and Chamjanagar belt. So if you see this data mainly collected from 147 locations which are mainly present in this area, but due to this COVID-19 the report had been delayed. And what is the inference from this data? So this data says that the number of new species found in this region, it is almost identical. They do not found much new species in this area. Okay, and about 203 species were recorded actually in earlier year or the last year. There are about 204 species which are mainly found in this area, and they found that bird count is also very much healthy. Okay, and they also see that sheer diversity of the birds which are mainly seen in this region. Okay, so you have to know about regarding this article, you need to think about, so which are the areas in India they will attract more migratory species, and which are the migratory birds that will be coming into the India in different seasons. So you have to make a list of that also, that will be very important. And you have to also see about important bird sites in India. Now let us try to see explanation part for yesterday's question. So this question is about proportional representation. Okay, proportional representation, why it is not preferred in this Lok Sabha. But if you are talking about this Rajya Sabha elections, we are going for this proportional representative system. Now let us try to see the statements. First one is highly expensive. Okay, yes, this is absolutely correct. And next one is it does not give any scope for to organize by-elections. Yes. And next one is it does not allow all sections of society to get representation in this proportion to their numbers. It is incorrect. And next one is large proportion of Indians being illiterate during independence. Yes, this statement is correct. So that option here is 3, 1, 2, 4 only. And the next question is regarding cabinet committees. So first statement here is they are constitutional bodies, but they are extra constitutional bodies. So this statement is absolutely wrong. And they are set up by president according to the exigencies of the time and requirement, but it is not by president, it is by prime minister. So these two statements are wrong. So I have to identify correct answer, that is 4, neither 1 nor 2. And today's questions, the first one, it is regarding Indian Parliament is supreme legislative and deliberative body as per constitution. What part constitute our parliament? So this is a very simple question, and you can easily identify the correct answer for this question, and let me know your answer in comment box. And next one, it is regarding when resolution of removal of vice president is under consideration. So vice president can. Okay, so this is also a very easy question. Try to answer these questions and let me know your comments in comment box. So as I said that here economic survey which is done by Servan sir, right? He is our economic faculty. So because of his busy schedule, actually today we are going to release this economic survey part. So it will be like about 2 hours of class. I think it will be more than 2 hours of class. So he gave an excellent perspective regarding this economic survey, and first he explained the basics concept, and later on he moved regarding what is this economic survey said. So this type of approach I didn't see in any YouTube channel. So you can use that and try to watch that video also. It was very helpful. Okay. And one more thing is in Rathod Science, as you all know that we launched a number of courses like prelims test series, mains answer writing course, and even entire foundation course for 2023 is available. And if you want to take individual modules like economy, history, geography, okay, polity. So there are individual courses also present. So based on your convenience, if you can offer foundational course, entire foundational course, you can take that, and if you want to take individual courses, you can take individual courses. So these courses are very useful, and we are focusing on this concept clarity, and each and every course that you can avail at a very reasonable, affordable price. Okay, so if you want to see the courses and the list of the courses, you can visit our website Rathod's IAS Academy, and whenever you are entering into our website for the first time, it will ask for sign up. Then there you can give your email ID, and after registering, then you can click on this course list, and you can see the wide range of courses. And after that, you can also have the chance to see at least 3 videos, okay, at least 3 demo videos from each and every module. So after that only you can go for payment. Okay, so if you want to talk to me regarding these courses, you can call to this number 8074765513. I'm the academic director of this Rathod's IAS, and you can contact me, okay, between 9 to 8 p.m. So by this I'm concluding. I hope you enjoyed this lecture. Please subscribe to Rathod's IAS Academy, and don't forget to like, share and comment my videos. Thank you so much.